When you cut out your pattern piece, make sure that you put it directly onto the fold. You should have one in your fabric, one in the lining, and one in the plastic as well. Cut out your zip pocket pieces to match the length of your zip. The upper zip section needs to be 4 centimeters wide and the lower section is the depth that you want plus 1.5 centimeters. Overlock the 2 zip edges. Turn your zip upside down onto the fabric and using the zipper foot sew close to the zip edge. Attach the top half of the pocket to the other half of the zip in the same way. Iron your pocket flat. Then what you're going to do is you're going to iron under all 4 seam allowances and then you're going to pin it to make sure it's secure. And then you pin it onto the good side of your lining. Make sure that it's in the middle of your bag. Try to pin it down as neatly as possible, hiding all of those overlocked edges, especially in the corners because they don't look very nice. Once you have pinned all of it down, what you're going to do is you're going to stitch around the 4 edges, making sure that you're very careful not to stitch over that zip because it will break a needle. If you would like to put an additional pocket onto the other side of your lining, what you need to do is cut your pocket to the size you want plus 1.5 centimeters for a seam allowance. Then what you're going to do is you're going to fold it down good side to good side 4 centimeters and then stitch down the sides. Take the pins out and then what you're going to do is you're going to cut the corners. Then what you're going to do is you're going to turn the pocket inside out, give it an iron so that the top edge is nice and sharp, and then pin the other 3 sides under and then give it a press as well with the iron. Once it's ironed under, what you're going to do is you're just going to stitch along the edges, but the first thing you need to do is stitch down that fold so it is secure. Place it onto where you would like it, preferably opposite where your zip pocket is, and then you're going to stitch down the 3 sides. Fold the lining together with the good sides, and then what you're going to do is you're going to pin down the sides and then you're going to straight stitch it and overlock it. Make sure you don't go around those little squares at the bottom. Next step is to open up those corners that you didn't sew and fold them together, and then you're going to pin it nice and neatly, making sure everything is flat. Fold your seam over to one side. And then you're going to stitch using a 1 centimeter seam and overlock it. Do the same for the other side. Now your lining's finished. To make the outer section of the bag, what you need to do is put the good side of your fabric, so the nice pretty side, onto the plastic side. And then what you're going to do is fold it in half, good sides together. So you're going to have plastic in the middle. Pin along the edge. Make sure you don't pin onto the plastic, pin at the very edge, and straight stitch and zigzag those edges. Open up the corners just like you did for the lining and fold them together. Be a good idea to get your teacher to check this just to make sure that there's no holes in the bottom. Stitch a 1 centimeter seam and then overlock it as well. Do the same for the other side. Once you've done that, you can insert your lining. So have your good side of the lining on the inside of your bag, and then what you're going to do is put it in, match up the 2 side seams, and then you're going to pin around the top edge. Get your teacher to check once you've done this step to make sure that there's no gathers. Once you finish that, see your teacher for the binding and the handles.